Hey everyone, Tom Atencio. We're going to talk about UFC 143, Saturday, February 4th. I'm here with Boss Rutten, El Guapo. We're going to get his predictions, talk to him about the fighters, and get a fighter, trainer, all-around personalities. Whatever, you know, I mean, yeah, that's him.
You name it, I'm it.
Okay, I do have to ask you one question before we get started, though. Being Dutch from Holland, obviously, when you look at me,
yeah.
Okay, and you're obviously Native American and Mexican.
Yeah.
How is it that you got the Dutch name, El Guapo, when it should have been me that got it?
I know, the Knapperman, that would be for you, the Knapperman in Dutch. I watched the movie The Three Amigos, one of my favorite comedies. There's a really ugly guy, bad guy in there, and his name is El Guapo. And I was having breakfast in Japan with Tina Shamrock and some other fighters, the ex-wife from Ken Shamrock, and she's Mexican. And I said, what does that mean, by the way, El Guapo? So she said, that means the handsome. Since I always call myself the most handsome fighter, when I think Kevin Randleman started it, he stepped up, and then he says, okay, Guapo, see you later. And the next day, by breakfast, everybody was doing, hey, Guapo, what's up, Guapo? And that was it. I was like, I think that Kevin Randleman started it.
All right, so I'm sitting here next to the most handsome fighter.
That's it.
Okay, nonetheless, Diaz versus Condit. Incredible fight.
Yep.
We got Nick Diaz with a record of 27-7-1 versus Carlos, the natural-born killer, with a 27-5-0 record. Talk to me, boss. What do you think about this fight?
You know, Condit is equal wins by knockout, equal wins by submission. It's got like 12-12 or 13-13. I mean, he's a finisher. I don't think one fight went the distance with him. Maybe one, but that's it. Everything he won, he finished. So that's a really hard one. Diaz, though, is on a roll. He is so in shape. He is so tough. He's hard to submit. He's hard to knock out. You know, so with that said, if I had to pick a winner, I think that Diaz is going to win it. You know, but it's, for me, always those questions are kind of horrible because I wish both fighters, I don't have anybody against anything, of course. But, you know, if I just put the facts, they say, oh, you got $1 million, you got to put it on somebody, you have to. Then I say, well, then I have to do that for me.
Absolutely. You know, It's hard doing this. 141, I was 0-5. I got 0 right with predictions. So, you know, it's MMA. You never know. I picked some people.
I've been wrong many times.
Yeah, Johnny Hendricks versus John Fitch. Hendricks knocked him out.
Yep.
You know, and statistically, you would have thought Hendricks would have lost. But nonetheless, I'm going to have to agree. I love Carlos Condit. I think he's a great fighter, really good guy. But unfortunately for him, I think it's his fight to win. He's the one who has to come up and beat Diaz. Diaz on an 11-fight win streak. So I think at the end of the day, statistically, I think Diaz is the one that's going to be favored. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to say Diaz too. I want Carlos. I would love to see Carlos win. I really do. But I think Diaz is the one statistically that's favored.
He's just so tough to finish, and he's just in a good shape. And what I always say, endurance, the most important thing in fighting, actually in any sport. So when you have a guy constantly coming forward in a 5-round fight, you know, then, you know, if Carlos can't finish in like the first 2 or 3 rounds, you know, the longer the fight takes, the more it's going to lean towards Diaz, I would say, because he's known for his stamina.
So what do you think, real quick, what do you think about the way Evangelista Cyborg fought him? When he was leg kicking Diaz, kicking that leg, kicking that front leg, it was working for a while.
It was working, but I thought, who can take those kicks? I mean, those kicks were insane hard, and he took each and single one of them. It didn't even bother him. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's something like, wow, any other person would have dropped with those kicks, the amount of them, and they were hard. They were with the shin, with the bone, and the guy keeps going forward. I have no clue how he does it. I know he's a specimen. I always loved him. You know, he's a great guy. I love the smack talking. I love all that. You know, and plus, you know, he's a great marketing guy. First time I met him, he came over to me and said, oh, hey, boss, I was. And I started laughing. He said, what are you laughing? I said, oh, my God, it's all an act. And he started laughing. You know, such a nice guy. We had him on Inside MMA, and then people, it showed his personality. He's a good guy.
Okay, we're both picking Diaz.